Hey everyone, my name is Dylan from gunspot.com, which is an online listing and auction site for both new and used firearms, and I'm here in this video for the Armory Life, and today we're going to be discussing Hollywood's most iconic shotgun. Clever girl. Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed that intro. We had fun making it, and over on our YouTube channel, we're actually going to have a behind-the-scenes video of how we were actually able to pull that off if you're interested. I'm a big film guy and movie guy, so I had a lot of fun filming that scene for you guys. Anyways, we're going to be talking about the SPAS 12, of course. That is Hollywood's most iconic shotgun. So in this video, what we're really going to be doing is we're going to be taking a look at this shotgun's iconic history on the big screen. It's been featured in a ton of movies, and it was really hard to narrow it down because there's a ton of movies and videos alike. So what we ended up doing was we put out a message to our users over at Gunspot, and we asked everybody to comment and write back and tell us what movies and what scenes were their favorite that they knew of that the SPAS was in. I went through the list and picked out some where I felt like it gave us some good talking points, so we're going to go ahead and get started. By the way, if you can't tell, I'm supposed to be dressed as the Terminator. That's my costume, and that's actually where we're going to start. We're going to start in Terminator 1. And this is the police shootout scene, so this is where Terminator goes to find Sarah Connor, and this is a part that I always find that's super hilarious. Watch this.
I'm a friend of Sarah Connor. I was told that she's here. Could I see her, please?
No, can't see her. She's making a statement.
So again, they send this assassin from the future, and he shows up with an Austrian accent and blends in, and he just shows up to the police station and delivers this line. "Hello, is Sarah Connor here? I'm here to see her, please." Again, I don't know who was thinking that this would blend in and make sense in 80s California. But anyways, there you go. Apparently she has a giant Austrian friend. So right after that, the cop basically tells Arnold Schwarzenegger to go pound sand, and what ends up happening is he shows back up with a full auto AR-18 and the SPAS 12. Now you'll notice in this scene, because Arnold is super swole and super strong, he's actually shooting the SPAS one-handed, unsupported without the brace. In fact, he's completely taken the stock off of the firearm. Now, in real life, there's absolutely no reason that I can think of why you would ever want to take this off. It's definitely going to be harder to control, harder to aim with if you don't have this. If you are dead set on shooting this without bracing it against your shoulder, the only reason why you would want to take this off is because you actually can't see down the sights. If you leave the stock folded, you cannot see down the sights to aim the gun. At that point, you're just pointing and shooting, which again, I don't know what good it would do to really have it off. You're going to be kind of pointing and shooting anyways, because it's going to be harder to line yourself up and aim with those sights. But Arnold is super swole, and the Terminator has a heads-up display inside his head, and he's walking around one-handed, shooting with the AR-18 in one hand, and of course he's got the SPAS in the other one. So this is the scene that we obviously tried to mimic in our opening here, and this is the scene where the guy who's kind of like their chauffeur and protecting them, he's kind of like the, I guess you'd say, the henchman of the island. I don't really remember his role. Kind of their protector, the guy on hand who's their protector, has the SPAS 12 here, and he's going after one of the velociraptors that's escaped. This is also the guy at the beginning of the movie that's like, "Shoot her!" as all the stuff's going down with the raptor in the very opening scene. So here we get to see him unfold the stock. So here we go, he starts lifting the stock. Something to note here, really quick, let me pause the video. So something to note with the SPAS is on a lot of them, right here you have to push in this little divot kind of button thing, and that's what allows you to start folding it. Now the triangle part of the stock here as it folds has to pass through the button or over the button twice. So it passes over it this way, and then as you start coming, it does it again. Now as you could hear, there's that click, which makes a lot of noise. And as you'll see here in the movie, his facial expression kind of mimics the fact that he's trying to be really quiet because he knows that click is a thing. So the guys, I feel like the firearm experts on set did a really good job of trying to keep it that way. Now, something that's interesting with ours, some of the SPAS 12s actually have little raised areas here so that you don't have to push the button to slide it over it. So you're supposed to go like this, and it's got kind of like a divot ramp that automatically pushes the button down and lets you lock it into place. Ours doesn't actually have that, so I think this is one of the earlier SPAS models or something like that. It doesn't have it, so you actually have to press it down to do it. So when we filmed this scene, we couldn't do it that way. Mike is the guy who plays this part in the opening, and what you don't see is I'm actually holding the button down off camera while he flips it so that we get the same motion this guy did. I can't really see here, but I'm feeling like his probably has the divot on the stock so that he could do it one-handed without having to hold it and make all this noise. So in this movie, Kevin Costner and his crew are dressed as Elvis Presley impersonators, and they're at a hotel in Las Vegas, and they're robbing it during an Elvis impersonator convention. And Kevin Costner is our main character here, who we see who has the SPAS 12, and there is going to be something interesting to note about the scene, so let's go ahead and play it. They're walking through, and these guys notice that there's just these Elvis guys carrying guns. Kevin Costner turns around here, and he pulls up the SPAS 12, hitting the first guy. Now, what you will notice immediately right there is Kevin Costner has this in pump. Now, technically, there's really no reason why he would need this in pump. He's probably shooting slugs or double-aught buck. He's definitely shooting, again, something lethal because these guys are intending to defend themselves and do harm while they carry out their crime. So there's really probably absolutely no reason why he would need to have it in pump. The Matrix is obviously one of those movies that's got its own cult following, and a lot of that's going to be because it was just a really iconic movie at the time that it came out with the black suits and the sunglasses and stuff like that. And then it's got this bullet time effect of slow motion and things like that. So really cool movie, had a lot of cool special effects, and it blew a lot of people away, I think, when it came out. And as a result, it's kind of always had this cult following. So we see our first guy with the SPAS 12 pop up right here. So Neo and Trinity have entered the lobby, and they come in, and there are these kind of SWAT officers defending the place. And what you're going to notice here is that there is a SPAS 12 that this guy has, who's one of the officers. And the SPAS 12 he has is actually not this one, which really baffles me that Hollywood chose to put in a fixed stock SPAS 12. You may not have even known that that was a thing, but yeah, there was a fixed stock, a fixed full synthetic stock SPAS 12, and it was hardly never represented in video games or movies because it didn't look as cool and it didn't have this awesome folding stock, or this really iconic silhouette. So if I go ahead and play it here, you're going to see this guy who comes up here in just a second is going to have a SPAS 12 right there. So he actually has a fixed stock SPAS 12, and I believe this guy is firing it in potentially pump as well. We'll keep watching the scene. Yes, right there he pumped the shotgun. You can actually see him pump it there. Again, these guys are firing at Neo and Trinity to kill them, so they're going to have heavy loaded lethal rounds that will be doing as much damage as possible because they're trying to take out their targets, their threats, right? They would have not needed this in pump. It would have actually been in auto-loading mode, and it would have done just fine. Okay guys, so that's a little breakdown of the SPAS 12 in Hollywood. This is the most iconic tactical shotgun that's probably ever existed. Even if you don't know anything about guns, most people know something about this, and it looks super tactical and scary and mean. I think that's the big reason why this gun is chosen a lot, is because it just looks so aggressive. And that's probably because it's got this cheese grater looking shield and then this cheese grater looking stock. It's a very iconic look, of course, and these shotguns are really expensive, and I think a lot of people just are drawn to the look, and that's why. So anyways, guys, that's it for this video. I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.